I'm very thankful to Allah for the privilege of being before you today. I'm here because I was inspired to deliver a message to you today and a warning to you today. My young brothers who do not realize that death stands at the door. The reason I chose this subject, death, stands at the door, because early one morning last week, I awakened and turned on the television to see the news, to see how many more American soldiers were killed in Iraq due to the blunder and the arrogance and the folly of the President of the United States. And as I was turning the dial, I saw what was a documentary on Attica prison and the rebellion that took place at Attica, and the black brothers who were killed as a result of their trying to get better treatment even though they were prisoners. They wanted better treatment in that hellhole called Attica prison. As a young minister of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I taught in all of the prisons in New York State, including Attica, many of the federal penitentiaries throughout the United States of America, and state prisons, from Folsom on the West Coast to Attica, Green Haven, Sing Sing on the East Coast, to Rayford Prison in Florida, prisons in Alabama, prisons in Texas, and in all of the prisons into which I was blessed to go to meet our brothers. In every prison there were Muslims, persons striving to follow the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, persons who united under those circumstances and were persecuted under those circumstances, and who under those circumstances fought the prison authorities legally and had the religion of Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad recognized as a religion, so that the Muslims in prison could receive some of the fair treatment that other religious groups had been receiving. Muslims pay a great price in prison for that right. Looking at that television and reflecting on my work in the prisons, I paid even closer attention to the documentary because I was involved in that drama that took place at Attica. Prior to the Attica uprising, there was an uprising in the prison in Queens, New York, and they sent Brother Farrakhan to mediate the dispute. When I went into the prison, there were members of the Panther Party, members of the Nation of Islam, and just black men who were tired of the mistreatment under the security personnel at the prison. So they had taken several white guards as hostages. I knew from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that when you deal with the enemy, you have to deal wisely and quickly, because he's an impatient kind of human being, and his nature is like fire, and yours is more like water. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, as it takes 212 degrees Fahrenheit to boil water, alcohol boils at about 160 or so degrees. And so he compared the nature of the white man, or the nature of the Caucasian, and the nature of the black man as two different natures with two different boiling points. So going into the prison and talking to the brothers, I told them that I thought that it would be wise for them to negotiate as quickly as possible and let the guards go, and that I would even trade places with the guards, and they could hold me hostage until we could negotiate a settlement. They said no. Some of my Panther brothers who were at odds at that time with the nation wanted to hold on to the guards, and I told them that you don't have much time. So it would be wise for you to get what you can out of this, because if you go beyond a certain time, you will meet the wrath of this enemy. They rejected my guidance, and maybe 12 hours later, those brothers were beaten almost to death in that prison. So when Attica was boiling, they sent for me. And as a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I would not go any place without his consent. So I called him and he said, yes, brother, go. As I was preparing to go, I got a call from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said, no, brother, they seem to be handling it pretty well. Don't go. I said, yes, sir. As time went on, the situation degenerated. The brothers called again for me. And I called the Honorable Elijah Muhammad again. And he said, all right, brother, go. The governor of the state of New York, Rockefeller, was sending a plane for me. fly me from New York City up to Attica Prison, which is near the Canadian border, that I might do what I could to intervene.